Hey guys, it's Brigitte with San Diego Seed Company, and today I want to talk about SunSCALD. Just like we can get sunburnt, so can our plants. So today it's September, and actually it's a nice cloudy day. Feels good to be out here. But typically in September, it is sunny and hot and unforgiving. And just like when you go to the beach, you need to put sunscreen on, your plants can get burnt too. So let's look at what that looks like and how you can prevent it, because you totally can. So we've got some peppers here, and you know, it's September. We're going into fall, so it really doesn't look that great. So don't judge me, but it's the end of the season. But I will show you exactly what happens on SunSCALD. So this is a spot here that got burnt basically. And then what happens is other insects or birds or beetles come along and actually take advantage of that soft spot, break it open, and now you can see there's roly-polies, there's tons of stuff in there. Now this is still perfectly edible. You know, I can cut that off, rinse off those bugs, not a big deal. But you really want to prevent it from happening altogether. So what we do on our farm is as soon as it starts getting super hot, about middle of July, August through September, is we actually use 40% shade cloth. This makes a huge difference. Now, it's important to note that not all shade cloth is the same. So if you go out and you buy shade cloth from a garden center, or you buy awning cloth, which sometimes gets confused as being the same thing, it's not. This only blocks out 40% of the UV light. These plants need sunlight to photosynthesize and thrive, but they need a little bit of that harsh UV light to be filtered out, and this only filters out 40% of it, which is ideal for vegetables, a lot of flowers, everything that we grow on our farm does really well underneath 40%. More is not always better when it comes to the UV blockage on your shade cloth. So basically what we do is we just cover them up. They can drape right over the plants, and this is going to protect them from getting SunSCALD in the first place, which then also protects them from getting other pest issues down the road. Makes a really big difference. The other thing this is going to do is it's going to keep the soil underneath them a little more moist, because we're blocking out some of the sunlight, right? So they're going to be able to thrive a lot longer into the warm and very hot fall that we have sometimes. So shade cloth not only protects the plants from SunSCALD, it's also a season extending technique. So you're going to hear me say that a lot in different videos. We use season extending techniques to get our garden to thrive longer, either into the cool season or into the warm season, and shade cloth is one of our #1 tools for doing that. You can actually see that we have some over here on top of the tomatoes too, because the tomatoes, just like peppers, can get SunSCALD. So we want to keep them from getting that sunburn that will then turn into a lesion and lead to all kinds of other insects getting into the plant. With peppers, you know, if you get a lesion and you get some insects in there, you can wash it out, not a big deal. With tomatoes, it gets really gross. You get tons of flies, and you just end up not being able to use the tomatoes. So we've got our 40% shade cloth just draped right over. Super simple. So shade cloth comes in tons of different colors. We actually have here, this is our newest product, black, and then this is white, one that we did carry, we don't carry anymore. Does the exact same thing. The nice thing about the white is it's just a different color in the garden, and it will reflect a little bit more light because it is a light color. But again, the most important thing about your shade cloth, if you're using it for vegetables in the garden and most flowers, you want to use 40%. Now, if you're growing ornamentals, tropical plants, things like that, you might need more shade depending on the plant. But this here is 40%, and this is what we use across the farm and in the garden every single summer and fall. Okay, so recap. SunSCALD on your peppers isn't the end of the world. If you're okay with cutting that portion off, you can still use the rest of the pepper. Don't waste it. You can prevent it by putting shade cloth on your peppers as soon as it gets really hot. For us, that's usually around July. And 40% is what you use. Now, SunSCALD on your tomatoes, a little less forgiving. It gets pretty gross pretty quick, and you usually don't want to eat those tomatoes. But again, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Stick that shade cloth on as soon as it starts getting really hot and you'll notice a big difference. So those are our tips and tricks for you so that you can avoid sun scald on the farm or in the garden. If you like this content, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe so that you can be notified anytime we put out a video for you.